So I grew up in Northern Ontario, in the nickel capital of the world, Sudbury, and I like to say my childhood was amazing until my parents got divorced when I was 7, and then from there, I guess my story turned into what I would call I come from humble beginnings, very humble beginnings, because I ended up with my mother, who had full custody of me, and ended up with a string of men that abused her. And so there was a lot of domestic violence in the home, alcoholism, and all kinds of challenges that I had to navigate, especially through my teens. I say that I tried to spend the majority of my teens trying to save my mother from these types of relationships, and one in particular. And so that kind of propelled me down quite a few dark paths. I was, dabbling in alcohol and drugs and partying and, petty crime and even witchcraft at one point to try to regain some sort of control. And so there was a lot of kind of healing that had to happen in terms of getting back on the right track and into the light. And so I did a lot of therapy for many years, and I find PTSD in particular was one of my issues, that and imposter syndrome. And there's a therapy called EMDR that is actually really good for that kind of stuff. And so I spent years in therapy, and then I ran away to the city of Toronto at the age of 20 and worked really hard. That's something that I never gave up on, is just doing well in school and working hard and surrounding myself with good people. And so I ended up healing through kind of the village that it takes to raise a child, and through reconnecting with my Christian faith in my early 30s. Right. The therapy was really successful, but I like to say God has the power to heal faster than decades of therapy. And that really turned things around for me. So in terms of how that helped me as an entrepreneur, it builds a lot of resilience, and it gives you a lot of perspective that if you are coming from an environment where you're constantly trying to survive, it makes, I guess, business challenges today seem kind of small and easy to get through, right, compared to that. So I hang on to that resilience, and there's other themes in my story like trust and forgiveness. I had issues with those two things, and that has really kind of opened up the door for me to grow as a leader and for the organization to grow. Giving you an example was the pandemic. That was kind of a crisis for us because we were very focused on hospitality events being our niche. And I'm thankful for my humble beginnings, because for me, when I see a crisis and an opportunity or a need to survive, it feels familiar. As I've been there, I've survived, this too shall pass. And so I get kind of calm in those situations, and I'm grateful for the past for those reasons. And then in terms of kind of growth going forward, I've learned that no one makes it alone. As an entrepreneur, sometimes it can feel lonely at the top, or you can kind of accidentally put yourself in a lonely position. And I would just encourage people to reach out, and there's a lot of power in community. And now, I work for other people. It's not for me to survive. My businesses aren't for me. They are for others. And it's all about serving upward and outward. And so I think that's what really keeps us growing.